Hello everyone, I'm CrypticFox, and welcome back to the Worlds Adrift Alpha. This is a game that's on PC. If you haven't been watching any of the other videos, this is just in the alpha phase, so it's not something that's out and available yet. And as it's in still alpha playtesting, something that has a few little bugs in it. In the prior episodes, we built up this ship that we used to fly off of the main island after we kind of figured out the mechanics of the game. And then I did a live stream recently where I was traveling over to this big island from the starting island. And it was taking a really long time, so I ended up just deciding to kind of respawn and skip from island to island, respawning on random respawners, and looking for the materials that I needed to be able to build some engines on my ship so it can go a little faster. I have 3 sails in it right now, and it kind of works. You know, as long as you're not headed straight into the wind, it kind of gets you around. But it's a little bit less than ideal. What I would like to do is actually get some actual engines on this, but I think what I might end up doing is just completely rebuilding the ship. This first attempt, although it worked out well enough to get me around, and I made a decent sized ship that worked pretty good. Wow, I just died. Unless I can get, I don't know if I'm able to move when I'm in the air. I don't think so. I'm toast. All right, we'll just respawn back on the ship. A little buggy when you approach islands, unfortunately. You get a little bit of lag, and it's really easy to fall off your ship if you're not careful. Alright, it's a little bit buggy as you're approaching islands, unfortunately. You get quite a bit of lag. And it's not something that you can necessarily avoid, so... As you can see, we've gotten to another island finally. This one actually took quite a while to get out to. I was flying into a bit of a headwind. I didn't realize it when I first started on this journey. I'm gonna bring the sails in so that we don't overshoot the island here. I had the chance to kind of hunt around, and I was looking specifically for a fuel tank because I had access to some engines, but you can't use the engines unless you have a fuel tank in order to hold the fuel. So I had to try and find those, and I did finally find a small fuel tank that I can work with. You know, it's not going to be optimal because it's only a small one, but at least it will give us the ability to have a little bit more power when we're going from place to place. But this island, too, looks like it actually has a bit of an ancient civilization on it. I can see some building structures over there, and on the lower portion of this island, it looked like there were some buildings as well. So I'm going to try and get this down a little bit lower now. No. Come on, over there. There we go. See if we can get down a little bit lower to the land. I probably should leave maybe one sail unfurled so I can get a little bit of forward motion. I don't want to go too quick, because I just want to kind of cruise in here. And then I think what we'll do is we'll explore the island first to see what we can find on here in terms of materials and stuff, and then maybe what we'll do is set up a little shipyard, and we can use that to build a new ship. I can salvage a lot of what's on this ship, fortunately, so it'll make the shipbuilding process for the next ship that much easier, but I made a couple of mistakes in building this one. So, for one, I didn't realize that... Oh my goodness, no, I didn't mean to go down that low. Oh, we just crashed into the ground. Not paying attention. First of all, I didn't really realize when I was building it that the materials that I was going to build it out of would actually have an impact on how the ship performs. So I made the ship, I think, out of lead because that was the metal that I had the most of. And that obviously is not really a good thing if you want your ship to be a little bit more light and nimble, because lead tends to be just a little bit on the heavy side. So there was that opportunity, but then also, when you're building the ship, you can adjust the little points that make up the framework or the wireframe that you're actually going to build your ship design in. And I made a couple tweaks on there, thinking that they would work out well. But as it turns out, they made a few narrow spots in the ship that are just a little bit hard to navigate when you're sailing around. So what I'd kind of like to do is maybe change the design a little bit so that it's a little bit more opened up. Build it with some metal that's not going to be quite as heavy as lead. Whether that happens to be iron or copper, or even if on this island I managed to find a store of aluminum. And then, based on that, we can have a lighter ship that we can work with and have a little bit better layout that's easier to maneuver around in, and maybe offers a little bit more interior space too. Alright, we managed to coast the ship in for a decent little resting spot. I mean, this is kind of a neat little design that I made, but I think something like... I made this little narrow spot here in the one side where I decided to kind of give the little divots in. It actually made it just really hard to kind of place pieces on there. It made for some awkward decking and that sort of thing too, so I want to be kind of a little bit conscious of that as I'm figuring out what I want the layout to look like. But let's go and explore the island a little bit. The ship should be relatively safe here as long as no pirates come along and see it hovering just above the island where it's easily accessible, which could be a distinct problem. But I'm not really planning to keep this one ultimately anyway. I just want the parts off it anyway. So I think we'll be fine. Every one of the islands has one of these little respawning areas over here, like this big chunk of land that's kind of floating up there with the little bridgeway sitting on it is a little respawning area. So theoretically, anyone could come out of there if they respawn and it picks this as the area. But I think we should be okay for now. I can't see that other people were here, obviously, because there is a shipyard down below here that somebody had that they must have built on, and there's obviously the fragments of the ship that are just sitting right back there. Somebody's little dinghy that they opted not to keep, I guess, by the look of it. Let's take a quick peek around here, though. We'll see if we can find a chest or something that will give us some extra supplies, and otherwise we'll just start gathering resources. We're going to need metal. We'll probably need some wood. I do have 200 and some odd wood, I think, in a chest on board ship, which will give us a bit of a head start, but we are going to need to gather more than that, I think. Well, I've checked pretty much this whole upper level, I think, of the island, and I'm not seeing any chests. I don't see knowledge stones either. This is somebody obviously had plans to build a ship up top here, which is probably not a bad idea because it lifts the ship up high enough that you don't have to worry about hitting any little obstructions. I might even, rather than building my own dock, I might actually just commandeer this one, or my own shipyard rather. I can actually just sail my ship right over here, and we can dock in this one as long as I've taken control of it. So I don't think I'll bother wasting resources building my own since that one's already sitting there. Mine would just go to waste. But what I want to do, I guess, is drop down a little bit lower. I did notice when we were flying in that there appears to be kind of a lower level to this island that's below this section. So this is like a little upper ridge that's at the back. But there's even like so at the level that I was on for where my ship is sitting, there's sort of a mid-level. This is sort of the very top level. And then down below, there's even a lower level. And I think I saw like a little city that was kind of stuck into the rock down there as we were sailing in. So I kind of want to check that out. See if we can make a safe jump down here. I want to see where the ledge is. Okay, I think we can do a little run and jump off of here. It should just clear this. Oh, that hurt a little bit. Fortunately, you can fall awfully far without getting killed. Oh, there is a knowledge stone there too, so that's good. That's the first one that I saw. Oh, there's two down here. All right, so we got one here. This will give us 30. And that'll be good. Now, come on. Where's my tool? There we go. All right, so we pick up 30 knowledge there, and then another 30 over here. That'll get me to 110, I think, in total, which will let me spend some more points on wings, actually, so we can learn some more wing designs. Which would be good. I mean, once you've found one plan for something, like engines or wings or what have you, it seems as though you can basically just spend knowledge points from that point on to get more different types of options, or you can still find chests that have the blueprints in them, or the schematics in them, and sort of learn more plans that way too. So you have a couple ways to learn plans once you find them, but the tricky part is that until you find at least one of them, so until you find your first engine plan, you're not going to be building anything engine-wise. All right, nothing over here. I'm going to circle around the island and see if we can get to that spot where I saw like the little city kind of in there. And with any luck, we'll find a chest over that way. Oh, okay, we did find a chest down below here. So that actually, the section that I found up there, where I thought I was dropping to the very lowest level, really wasn't the lowest level. It was still just kind of connected to the middle section. The islands are really strange because they're all, I don't know if they're like procedurally generated or they've been designed, but they're all a little bit awkward, kind of. Engineer's apron. We've got engine housing. Essentially just a shell of an engine, so I guess we can probably salvage that for materials. And then these little things here are like little knowledge things. I should probably go through my journal and read them. I think they give you sort of a history of what's going on in the game, which would probably be good context. This here we can salvage it. We can't expect it, obviously. And that got us steel and magnesium. Sweet. Plus we found a good chunk of wood in there, so that's a good find. Still more to look for. We found 2 of those knowledge nodes, which are good, or the knowledge stones, whatever you care to call them. What I thought was like a full-fledged town down here. It looks like it was maybe just a couple Wrecked buildings. Ah, cool. We did find a rare chest. So these orange chests are the ones you really want to get. They often have good stuff in them. What have we got in here? Wow, lots of stuff. A fractured sword blade. We can salvage that. Deconstructed telescope we can salvage. And then all these plans we can check out too and see what else we're going to find in terms of schematics, which is great. I don't really need hats because I have one that I'm using already. It doesn't seem like there's any real armor benefit. Altimeter. Nice. I didn't have that. Small fuel tank I already did find, so it's funny that I just found a second one now. Let's see if we can collect these. Okay, good. I did need both of those. This I can salvage and get more materials. That got me iron. And this telescope is going to net me nickel and wood. Nice. Alright, so we got a variety of metals, but nothing that's in a really large quantity. We're going to need a lot if we're going to build a ship. I'm going to put this other schematic back in here because I don't need it. That way if anyone else comes along, they can loot the chest too, I guess. Oh wow, another chest over here. Jackpot. Alright, this one has more stuff we can salvage. Knackered ship's hatch. I guess knackered is supposed to mean it's been wrecked? I don't know. What is this little thing? Badge of the elderly. A badge to mark out the selfish cowards living beyond the time of ascent. Nice. The selfish cowards. Yeah, that's... Seems like it's just the exact kind of thing you want a badge for. What can I do with it? I can't inspect it, but I can salvage it. Wow, there's a lot of metal in that little badge. There's only lead, though. Lead's really no use to me. Salvage this. What do we got? Got some wood, and we got... Yay, more lead. Oh, that's funny. It's not the same. So this one's quality 4 lead. That's quality 7 lead. I don't know what the difference is. Does one of them have better structural integrity or more hit points or something associated with it? I don't know. And yet another small fuel tank. I'm just going to destroy this because the chest did disappear on me. So we'll get rid of that. Alright, we got to get a decent selection of metal, but I still need something that's in large quantity. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to do a lot of building with it. You can't mix metal types when you're combining things in to make rails and stuff. You always have to add in for any given section all the same type of metal. Just go right through the gap. Go, Spider-Man. Oh, is that another chest? Oh, I thought I could reach that. It was another chest, so we just roll right in there. What do we got here? More stuff to salvage. A plant pot. This looks like copper. Yeah. This is child's magnet. Interesting. Man, this island's a jackpot. Heading indicator. Nice. I didn't have that either. Wow, we got all kinds of instrumentation we can get now. We got nothing from the plant pot. That's great. What about from this child's magnet? More nickel. Quality 4, quality 7. I see they don't stack up. I'm not sure I'm really fond of this whole varying metal quality thing. Because you could end up with a whole bunch of different, like a whole bunch of the same metal, but not be able to use it because it's varying qualities. I don't know. Alright, rather than heading all the way up to the ship right away, I just realized that we are going to need some metal so that we can do some shipbuilding. So we're going to need a little bit more than what I have, and I don't want to build with lead again, which is, again, the thing I seem to have the most of. It just makes the ship too slow, and I'm sure that's got to impact the fuel effectiveness. In the case of the ship I have now, it's just running under sail power, but even that makes it slower, so let's try and get something out of here. Oop. Oh, I'm swinging all over the place. Come on. Try to stabilize a little bit here so we don't... There we go. That should make it a little bit easier to mine. When you're swinging around all over the place, it's so hard to target these things. Because you don't want to do that. If there was anything in there to get, it's gone now. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh yeah, that hurt. Alright, give me something good in here. I think I'd like maybe like iron or copper. I have a feeling this is lead again. Oh, we got iron. Nice. Seems like each island is set up in a way that the metal nodes will have like maybe 1 or 2 different types of metal. So if you find iron here, then we should get lucky and find iron in some of the other ones as well. Gotta be careful, I've already damaged the core on this. If I hit it again, I think it might explode. And I haven't gotten all the iron out of here yet. Come on. Let me get up a little closer. Try and get a better target on it. Oh, bounce it all over. There we go. Nice. There's some iron there. If I can get around the other side of this thing. There we go. Now, this should give me a much better shot at this one. Nice. Alright, we got a good collection there. I'm going to gather some more metal. Then we'll head back to the ship with what we can get and see what we can do building-wise. Alright, I've done some resource gathering. We have, I think, a pretty good supply of metal now that we can work with to try to build out some things in here. The tricky part is going to be that I've got all these different qualities of metal. So depending on how much we need for any individual one, it might present a little bit of a challenge. I think we might end up going with a copper being the hull that we'll build out of the new ship. But the first thing I want to do is get this this current ship into the dock that somebody has set up there, the shipyard rather, that somebody has set up on the top here. So I kind of got the ship navigated around, but I'm actually under sail right now, and the ship's not even moving because I'm pointed directly into the wind. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky when you're trying to work with sails, because you actually have to tack against the wind a little bit to get some angle. Otherwise, the ship won't move. Now that we've got a little bit of sail to the side of it, the ship should start to creep forward a little bit. No, it's going super slowly, though. I came across really fast from where I was originally had the ship sitting, just because of the way that it was cutting across the wind, but now it's going to present a bit of a challenge trying to get the ship in range of that shipyard now. And I may have to. I only have one sail up at the moment, but I may have to pop up another couple. Alright, we got a little more speed now. I got the ship sort of maneuver around so we can sail right into this shipyard here. Now the tricky part is going to be, how's it going to stop up on me? Because I'm not sure what kind of momentum these things get in terms of like the forward carry. This thing's really pitched downwards too. I should probably try and adjust that a little bit. Pull the nose of it back up a little bit. Now, I don't have any other sails open, I don't think. No. Alright, we successfully docked. Just like that. So it did take a little bit to kind of maneuver around, but overall, it worked out pretty good. And I claimed this, actually, even without having to come down and access it first. I thought I would have to jump down. So now I've taken ownership. You can even dock in them if you don't have ownership, I guess. But unless you have ownership, then you can't use this to make things. So we've got a couple of different ship schematics in here that are an option. But I'm going to have to actually strip down what I have in the ship so far. So let's start off first, I guess, by taking all the pieces off that we want to try and salvage. Now, the really hard part is going to be, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen with the whole frame of the existing ship. If it'll just let me rework it, or if I'm actually going to have to try to get this thing off of the shipyard so that I can try and look at that. So I can try and build a new ship in here. Alright, so I've turned the ship into quite a mess. We have most of the wood pieces down here at the bottom. I did salvage a couple of them and actually get the logs out of them. We have to go around and probably do the same with all the decking because I don't think it can be reused. It's all basically customized to the size and shape of the frame. But we have left the frame here, and this is the one thing you can't really salvage. So I'm kind of curious to see whether this will let me just rework it all together. So if we go in and choose, a ship is currently docked to the shipyard, so it looks as though we're not going to be able to just rebuild here, which does present a bit of a challenge. So I don't think we can even pull this thing off of the shipyard. See if we can try walking away and try pulling it, see what happens. I think it's pretty much locked in place here. Yeah, it's not moving. We might actually have to build, like, salvage the shipyard that's here and build another one. Unfortunately. Alright, I opted to make the shipyard out of the lead. Can't find space to craft item. Uh-oh. I decided to make the shipyard out of lead since I don't really want to take the lead with me on the ship. It adds too much weight. If I can avoid it anyway. Hopefully this will work now. Craft. Can't find space to craft. I honestly have no idea how much space this thing requires. You know what? I'll put this down. Because actually I don't need that right now. I can do it. I'll just set it up over here. Alright, so I could have used the one that was already there, but I had that one in my inventory, so, you know, I had to get rid of it. I think this will let me have enough space now that I can build. So let's make the shipyard. Can't find space to craft item. Are you kidding me? Alright, we've got our shipyard here. I'm going to have this maybe... I think I'm going to try and set it over here a little bit. So that it's kind of clear of that frame as much as I can get it. I can't find a good placement here, though. Let's set it up right here, and then when we build, it should be up high enough that it's not going to interfere with that other frame. And it will keep it'll keep all these objects that I put down within the bubble, because I want them to be within the shipyard bubble so I can pick them up with my tool. Alright, so let's build a ship. We could make a dinghy, which is the smaller ship. And if you look up... it's just a really tiny little ship, but I want something that's a little bit more substantial. I'm thinking maybe I'll use the CrypticFox design, but do some edits to it instead. So this is the design I had, but I think it needs some tweaks. Alright, I think I have a relatively simple design I'm going to work with this time. So this one's actually really similar to what you might see in a normal boat, but of course it'll be a skyship. I am going to add some wings and stuff on it to give it a little bit of a different shape to it. But for my second build, I'm going to go relatively simple this time, because I tried to make tweaks last time that I thought would make the ship look cooler, but it ended up causing issues with functionality because the beams were in the wrong place. So I had to go with this one as an option. There was actually two other players that showed up here as well that look like they're working on building a ship. They're having trouble getting the engines to kind of sit the right way, but this is going to be the one that we're going to build. We'll go with the CrypticFox, so we'll save this. Now we're going to need 661 for beams, 290 for decks. So I don't know that the quality of these matters so much. I'm going to have to use cedar log because it's the only one I have enough of in a single chunk to do the decking. So we'll put that on there for the decks. And then I think for the rest of the ship, I'm going to have to use copper because it's the only thing I have more than 661 of. I'm getting close on iron, but I'm just a little shy there. If only I could combine some of these other different quality ones together and get like an average quality amount, that would probably do a little better than having all these individual stacks I can't use. But we'll go with copper for now. It's still going to be a very heavy ship, unfortunately, because it's still copper, but at least it should be lighter than the lead will be. And I think with the way that we've got everything placed here this time, it should be much, much simpler. It should be much, much simpler to place different objects on here. So the big piece here now is going to be getting all these other parts that I've kind of dropped on the ground here into place. Now, I really wish I could do something about this frame, but it's just kind of stuck there. There's really nothing you can do about it. Alright, so I have a couple of... looks like I still have 3 of the anti-gravity units. The 4th one, I think, went into the ground. So I don't think I'm going to be able to recover that one. These things might be really damaged. I should probably check that out and see if I can repair them. It says it's damaged beyond repair, but it also seems to say that anytime something's not damaged at all. So, I mean, I don't know what to believe. Let's see if these things got damaged at all. Repair completed. Yeah, see, when it gets fully repaired, it says that it's damaged beyond repair. So, I don't know. Maybe this... see if this control stick needs any. No. Alright, so we used a tiny little bit of mahogany to do repairs. Alright, she's ready. Well, ready for the other pieces anyway. I'll get up on top here. It'll probably be easier to put the pieces into place. I think if I'm... Oh, whoa, that carried me way over. I think it'll probably be easier to put the pieces in place if I'm actually up on the deck here, I think. Now, I do want to create a way to get down inside, and I think I'm going to do that right here. If we take this piece out... if I can lift it out, there we go. And this will give me an opening that I can get into. I'm just going to drop that down there for now. This will give me an opening to get down into the lower level without having to go out. And then we can grab... Let's grab our little anti-gravity units, and we'll put those in here on the lower level, where they'll be a little bit more protected. So this will keep them inside the ship. And then... when I have walls and everything set up in here, this can give me significantly better protection for them so they can't get shot at. Because if these get blown out by anybody who's raiding you while you're flying around and fighting, then it's pretty much game over. Your ship will just crash. I kind of want to... If I stick this right at the very front up here, I wonder if I can still build my cockpit right in here so that I'll have good visibility for where the ship's going. This is a big ship. Well, we have the rough beginnings of a framework in here anyway, so I have a little bit of walls. I have to do some more here to kind of cap it all off. I'm going to put some windowed walls in here. And then I'll probably leave the back just wide open, I think, on this one. I want to add in a couple more details, and then we'll see how it floats. So I want to build on engines on this thing as well as some wings, because I haven't had those yet. And I want to kind of see how those work out. So in here, if we go into wings, I should have a couple different kinds. There's an uncommon wing that I can make, assuming I have enough materials for it. So I'm not exactly sure what the total effect is of the wing. So I know that it gives you the ability to improve your steering a little bit. And you can see it has base hit points, power, and then pivot speed. And it looks like the uncommon one has significantly better base hit points and pivot speed. So I'm going to go with the uncommon wing, I guess. Hopefully we have enough materials here we can make it. I don't know how magnesium will affect it. So let's see. I can split it into 3 different segments at least. So I have iron. Let's try iron first and see how that impacts the weight. 25 kilograms. So if I make it out of iron, I'm going to be looking at 50 kilograms. If I make it out of magnesium, and then I'm looking at 10 kilograms. But magnesium's flammable, so I mean, I don't know. I gotta use magnesium anyway, I think. I don't know how things behave materially, but let's figure this out. I'm kind of curious to see whether if my ship gets shot, is it going to... Oh, jeez. Oh, look out. It's falling over. If my ship gets shot, I'm really curious to see whether it's going to catch fire because of this. I think I'm going to put them about midships. I want it to be on a bit of a downward angle, I think. No, never mind. I'll just have it straight out, I guess. Boom, there's one. Alright, so we've got 2 wings on it now. I am a little concerned about how the weight is going to impact it, because the wing on one side is a little bit heavier than the one on the other side. So I don't know if that's going to play a part in the physics. I have a feeling it might, given how much of this game is actually based on physics. Let's add in some engines next. Assuming I have enough materials, I think I should. Let's go into... Oh, there's decorations now. Crow's nest, bent bar pipes, improbable flags. I think there's an opportunity to do a little bit of this stuff, I think. But we're not going to do that right now. Let's go with... let's see. This uncommon engine has good fuel efficiency. Oh, this one has better power, but worse fuel efficiency. It's a little bit better power and dramatically different fuel efficiency. So I think I'm going to go with the one that's better with fuel. Let's see. There's 145. Again, put this in here. Can I use wood for this stuff? I don't even know. No. Okay, so anything that has this I-beam shape, I guess, has to be a metal. Oh, that's a big engine. Oh my goodness. Look at the size of this thing. Which one's the intake end? I don't even know how these engines work necessarily. I guess that's the intake, and that must be like the props at the back. I don't know. That is one crazy looking engine. I don't know which direction this is supposed to sit. That way? Is that how that works? That thing is crazy looking. Alright. Let's make one more. Alright, this is gonna be a little bit tricky to place because I can't get inside the other rack, but I think it was somewhere around here I stuck it on the other side. I might have to do a little bit of tweaking when I can get a free line of sight to do so. So we have 2 engines on it. Alright, we've got wings, we've got engines, we've got masts in case we run out of fuel, we've got double fuel tanks, we've got the control stick. I want to do some things like some of the control essentials here now. Or, I guess they're not essentials, but the indicators and stuff. It's not in the panels I want. It's not the essentials I want. I guess it's in utility here. So we want the fuel gauge, would be really handy because it's kind of important to know how much fuel you have left, I guess. So we'll build one of these out. Just make it out of copper. I don't know where these go, though. Do they go on top of the tank, or is it something that goes up near the control mechanism? That's going to be something that I'm going to have to experiment with. Oh, it just fell, like, inside the thing and broke it. There we go. Okay, so we got that there. Now let's see. We need... Let's do a heading indicator, I guess. Well, let's do actually an airspeed indicator. I kind of been struggling with figuring out how much I'm moving, so this would be good. All right, I actually don't know where I'm supposed to put this fuel gauge. I mean, I think it would make sense to have it up here at the front. But maybe I need like one of those bent bar things before. Okay, it looks like I have to place it on metal. So I don't know, maybe I need like a bent bar thing up here that I can put the gauges on. Because I couldn't stick it right on the wood, and I mean it will put it on the fuel tanks, but I don't know if that's where it's intended to be. If I can get this airspeed indicator, there we go. Alright, same thing with the airspeed indicator. It won't place on anything but metal. So put that there for now. Let's make a bent bar that we can use to put the gauges on. Okay, I think I have just about everything set up on the ship now that I'm going to need basics-wise. There's a little bit more I want to put on in terms of paneling, but I have here now the all the gauges I want to set up. So I have like a compass, I have an airspeed indicator, I have a fuel indicator, I have an altimeter. So when I'm controlling the ship, at least I'll have, hopefully I can figure out how to read these things so I can tell what they're trying to tell me. I think, I mean, I don't know exactly how the fuel tanks and the engines have to be related to each other. I don't know if you have to, like, I don't see any kind of like a pipe or something you have to set up to in order to fuel them. So hopefully it'll just have that natural connection. Now, I need to fuel them, and I don't have any fuel on me, so I'm going to have to collect some of that before we can use them. But what I'll probably do is try sailing out here. I'm going to make one more anti-gravity unit just to make sure that I have plenty of lift, because I don't want to get stuck in a scenario where I'm right on the borderline, because if anyone jumps on the ship or if I bring too many materials on board, then we'll have an issue with floating. So in the essentials, we can do one more sky core. This is going to take 150 wood. I actually can't build this right now. Drat. Alright, let's see how this works otherwise. I'll have to test it out without... I'm going to test it without the engines for now, too. And then when we come back next time, I'll have some fuel and everything, and we can try to do a little bit of an engine test and see how these work. Now, the engines I'm using are uncommon. I thought I might have had access to rare ones that I'd unlocked. But apparently not. Oop, come on. Get me up there. There we go. A little ragdolling. Are my wings set at the same pitch? I think they might be, yeah. So they got that neat little downward angle to them. Alright, now the really tricky part here is going to be doing the sails all the time. This is probably one of the big flaws in my design, is that with the sails, you have to go up and furl and unfurl them. Oh, here comes a ship. Let's try to get out of here before this guy gets in too close, just in case he's a pirate and he's intent on taking what I have. We got to get underway before he gets within shooting range, because I don't have any cannons set on this. I did unlock a cannon, so I will have an opportunity to try and set up something we can defend. But for now, we'll just go under sail power. See if we can get out of here. Hopefully this thing has enough lift. If it doesn't, we're going to have a real problem really quick. Alright. We got control. Oh my goodness. Alright, I might have to make some adjustments to where I have those. Come on. Give me the lift I need. Oh, this is a heavy beast. Alright, we're underway. Where's that other ship? I can't even see it right now. Oh, and I can't see my sail position either. This might actually be a less than optimal design right now. I can't see the position of my sail, so I can't tell how I'm catching the wind. And that might be an issue. This is a heavy, heavy beast, though. Alright, we got good wind angle, I think. Where's that other ship? I don't see him. I don't see him. Did he drop down low and go under the island? Did he already sail over? Is he stuck up in the clouds? I can't tell, but he was coming in at a full mast. Alright, well, I'm going to take our new vessel out. See if I can figure out some of the how she handles relative to the old vessel. I do like that this one has a lot more room to move around inside it. I'm not thrilled, actually, with the way I set up the sails. Mostly because I can't see them. So if I run back here, I mean, I can look up. But it's nice when you're actually controlling the ship just to be able to look up and understand whether you're getting good wind or not. Hopefully, though, we'll spend more time under engine power than we will under sail power. Well, thanks, everyone, for checking out the video. We'll come back next time. We'll do some more island hunting. We'll see how this thing handles the trip between different islands as we go a little bit of adventuring. But thanks, everyone, for checking out the video. I'm, as always, CrypticFox. I'll see all of you next time.